Hi guys, this next video is on constructing angles. So I have a few angles that I have in mind, and along with that I'm also going to teach you how to draw an angle bisector. So here I have a question that's asking you to construct angle PQR, which is a 60-degree angle. So what we're going to do now is that nothing is given. I didn't put anything here as a guidance. So what you have to do is always start with a straight line. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to draw a straight line over here. Doesn't need to be a very long line because we are drawing angles. Just do a sketch at the top. Now if you are drawing angle PQR, so assuming I have an angle which is 60 degrees over here, my angle is going to be at the middle letter, which is Q. So my Q is going to be here. That means I have to draw P. P has to be here, Q, and this has to be R. This is how we measure or label angles, which means that I'm going to draw my Q. I'm going to mark my Q point over here, and I'm going to mark my P point over here. Now the distance is not important because they did not mention any distance. Now at Q, because my angle that I sketched is on Q, so at Q I'm going to place my compass on Q, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a short curve like this. Okay, a curve. And with the same measurement, without moving my compass measurement, I am carefully going to go to this point that I created. When two lines crosses each other, it makes a point. So I just created a point over here. So I'm going to go to the new point that I created, and I'm going to cross this arc. If the arc is too short, you just have to go back to Q and make it longer. That's all. Okay, so I made my arc longer, and then I go to this point and I cross it. Right, that's all. And every cross that you make is a 60-degree angle. And so now from here to Q, I'm just going to draw a line, and this will make a 60-degree angle over here. And you want to use your protractor to prove that you have made a 60-degree angle. I'm going to prove it to you now. Okay, right. See, on the point that I created, as long as my vertex, you can see my vertex of my protractor is at the same vertex as Q. My base of my protractor is exactly on the baseline, and from here to here you can see that my angle falls at 60 degrees. So this proves that the angle I created is indeed a 60-degree angle. Okay, so that's how you draw a 60-degree angle. Now our second question is asking us to draw a 120-degree angle. So 120 is double of a 60-degree angle, but they've given us B to C. So that means our angle is now when we sketch it, it's going to be A, B, C, where the BC is already given to us, and this angle will be 120 degrees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a mark on B, and what I want to do is I want to draw the same curve as above, but this time I want to make my curve a little bit longer, 3/4 of the size. Okay, so I have created a curve that's longer than before, and with the same measurement, okay, with that same measurement that of the curve that you created, you're going to go to the first point that you made, and you're going to mark the angle once. That's a 60-degree angle, by the way. You're going to go to that 60-degree mark, and you're going to cross the angle twice. You're going to cross the curve twice. So this is 60. From here to here is a 60-degree angle, and from here to here it's another 60-degree angle. I'm sorry, my video is moving. Okay, so 60 from here and 60 from here, that makes a 120-degree angle. So we are not gonna mark the 60, we are gonna go ahead and mark the 120 though. So from here to here, our angle is a 120-degree angle. Okay, now if you use your protractor, see that your angle is 120. Mine is slightly, maybe a bit off, but yeah, okay, yeah, it's fine. It's 120. Okay. So one thing I haven't done is I forgot to label my R here. So here also I have to label A, which is this point. Okay. So A here and R here. You have to label the P, Q and R. I have to label the A, B and C. So B and C is done. So the A I need to label it. Now before I go to the other angles, you need to know how to draw an angle bisector. A perpendicular line or a bisector is a line that divides into half. So an angle bisector would be a line that divides an angle equally into two. So what we usually do is, I have an angle from POQ, I have an angle here, okay. I want to cut this angle into half, right? So what I want to do is, I want to draw an angle bisector, so I'm going to go to point Q. Now some students will prefer to draw a whole curve, but like I said, I usually only prefer to draw what I want. So what I want to do is, from Q, I want to make a mark on each line. So one mark over here and one mark over here. Okay, I've made my 2 marks. And why are we making that 2 marks? To use them, right? So I'm going to go to the points that we created, and I'm going to draw with the same measurement an arc in the center, because an angle bisector is going to split the angle into half. So the line is going to be at the center, and I'm going to draw an arc from each point that I created. And then I'm going to draw my angle bisector over here. So this divides this angle equally into 2. So this is our angle bisector. Okay, that divides the angle equally into 2. So the reason I am giving you this is because now we are going to construct a 30-degree angle. So a 30-degree angle is an angle where it's half of a 60-degree. That's where your angle bisector comes in handy. So we are going to draw now an angle ABC. So my BC is already given, and the size of my angle is going to be 30 degrees, which is half of 60. So that means to get to 30 degrees, I need a 60-degree angle first, right? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to mark my point at B, and from B, I'm going to do what I did with the 60-degree first. I'm going to draw a curve. Just drew a curve, a 60-degree curve, and then I'm going to go to my point that I created. My curve is not long enough, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to make the curve longer. So I'm going to go to the new point that I created, and I'm going to mark this curve once. That's a 60-degree. But I don't want the 60-degree angle, so I'm not going to go and draw the line. I don't need that line. I only need the 60-degree mark. So this is my 60-degree mark, right? This is my 60-degree angle mark. Now I want to cut this angle into 2. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go to my point. This is my 60-degree length. I just need to make sure that my compass is slightly more than half of this angle. Half would be slightly around here. So you just want to make sure your compass is slightly more than half. Or you want to make sure it's the same size, it's fine. But if it's sometimes when you follow the size of the angle, depending on the size of your curve, my curve is not so big, so it's okay. But if you make a curve that's very big, you're going to end up having a very big distance, and that's going to make your drawing look huge. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to focus on putting my compass more than half of this curve, and I'm going to draw an arc on one end here, and with the same measurement, carefully put your compass on that 60-degree point, and you want to cross this arc, right? And now I have a 30-degree angle. So this is now going to be 30 degrees. okay, and this is point A. So now if I measure with my protractor, I hope it's 30 or else I'll have to do it all over again. Yep, right on the point, 30 degrees, as you can see. Okay, alright, so this is where the angle bisector comes in handy. Okay, so this is how we draw a 30-degree angle. Next, we're going to draw a 90-degree angle. So a 90-degree angle can be done in two ways, right? You can draw a 90-degree angle two ways. So I'm going to show you one of the methods. So first thing first is, now my 90 degree is going to be at point Q, and Q is over here. So I'm going to make my point a bit clearer. What I want to do now is I want to make my line a bit longer, right? So I'm going to put my ruler on the original line and I'm going to just lengthen this line, make it longer. And now what I want to do is, from Q, this is how you draw a 90-degree angle or a perpendicular bisector for that matter. From Q, I'm going to make a point on my left hand side, and at the same distance I'm going to turn my compass and make another point on my right hand side. Okay, sorry if you see that. So one on my right and the other one on my left. Okay, once I do that, now I've created 2 points. The job is to make the points and use them. So I'm going to go to the new point that I created. This is only half of the size of the line. From point to point, I want to make my compass slightly bigger, more than 3/4 of the line, and I want to draw an arc at the top. And I only need an arc at the top. I don't need an arc at the bottom because I already have the Q. So I'm going to go to the other new point I created with the same measurement. Without moving your compass, you are going to cross this arc. Okay, and then from the arc to Q, you're going to draw a 90-degree line. So this is a 90-degree angle, and if you measure, it's exactly 90 degrees. Okay, so this is Q and R. So P is going to be here. So it's P, Q and R, which is a 90-degree angle. So this is one way of drawing a 90-degree angle. Alright, now we are going to construct, okay, a 45-degree angle at Q. Now constructing a 45-degree angle, so you must understand that 45 degrees is half of a 90-degree angle. So that means I will have to draw a 90-degree angle at Q first, and then I will have to cut the angle into half. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you the same method of creating the 90 degree. There are two methods to do this. I'm going to show you the first method. So I'm just going to make this line longer, right? And then I'm going to mark point Q clearly. And what I want to do now is, I want to create my 90-degree angle first. So based on my explanation earlier, I created 2 points, one on the left and one more on my right hand side. Okay, after creating the 2 points, I'm going to go to the point that I created, open up my compass more than half of the line, and I want to draw an arc at the top. So one arc over here, then go to the other point and cross the arc. So I just created a 90-degree line, but I'm just going to draw a very light line, not a very dark one, because this is not my main answer. My main answer is a 45-degree angle. Now to draw a 45-degree angle, I need to draw an angle bisector here. So an angle bisector, you need to start with making 2 points. So I'm going to make 2 points. One is on this line. Now don't get confused. This is the point that I used to draw my angle bisector, and this is the point that I'm using to draw, this is the point that I'm using to draw my 90 degrees. This is the point I'm using to draw my angle bisector. So don't get confused between the 2 points. Know exactly what are the points you are creating. And how I know this is, I can either make it into a full curve, or I can draw my arcs a bit longer. I decided to make a full curve because when I draw my arc longer, it's already almost joining each other. So now what I do is, I go here to my new point, make sure my compass is slightly more than half of the curve, and I'm going to draw an arc from here and from here, and I'm going to cross my arc. Okay, and then I'm going to start from the arc, place my ruler, and then I'm going to draw a straight and darker line because this is my final answer, and this is my 45-degree angle. Okay, now if I measure this angle over here, it's 45. As you can see, 45.